Hello, you're watching Weekly Highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host, Ilham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. A meeting of the Council of Heads of State of the Commonwealth of Independent States was held in Moscow. President İlham attended the meeting. President İlham was interviewed by Rəsmi TV channel in Moscow. On October 7th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham arrived in the Russian Federation to attend a meeting of the CIS Heads of State Council.
At Moscow's Vnukovo TV International Airport, the President of Azerbaijan was welcomed by Mikhail Galuzin, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia, along with other officials.
On October 8th, President of Azerbaijan, İlham held a meeting with President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, in Moscow.
Здрасте. Привет. Шансы. Уважаемый Ilham Гейдарович, уважаемые друзья, коллеги, мы очень
Dear Ilham Heydarovich, dear friends, colleagues, we are very pleased to welcome you all at Moscow. As agreed during my visit to Baku, we are holding this meeting today. The President and I have just had a one-on-one discussion, and yesterday evening we had an informal conversation in which we touched on issues related to the current state of our relations. I want to point out right away that our relations are developing positively. As we noted during my visit to Azerbaijan, $4.3 billion in trade turnover, over $4 billion in direct investments in the Azerbaijani economy, and many good, interesting projects in both the energy sector and infrastructure development. These are all promising, real and viable projects, both bilateral and multilateral. We are very glad that on the margins of the CIS Heads of State meeting, we have the opportunity today to exchange information on current work and perhaps outline or make some adjustments to this progress, which is evident. We are very happy to see you. Welcome.
Спасибо, уважаемый Владимир Владимирович, за возможность повидаться сегодня также.
Thank you, esteemed Vladimir Vladimirovich, for the opportunity to meet today, and thank you also for yesterday's dinner. By the way, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you once again on your belated birthday. Since your state visit, the dynamics of our bilateral relations have been quite noticeable. There have been many contacts at the level of representatives from various authorities and government members as a follow-up to the decisions reached in August in Baku. Today is also a good opportunity, as you noted, to revisit these issues because the agenda is quite extensive and the projects, especially the new ones that we outlined in Baku in August, certainly require our constant attention and oversight. So today is a good opportunity to revisit the agenda once again and determine specific steps to implement the agreements we have reached. Once again, thank you for the meeting.
Еще раз спасибо за встречу.
Уважаемый Ilham Гейдарович, мы ждем
Dear
вас.
Ilham Heydarovich, we look forward to seeing you in Kazan on October 23rd, 24th for the BRICS Plus outreach events. I am confident that these will be productive meetings, providing an opportunity to work with all the leaders of the participating countries. And of course, we are inviting a large number of countries that are eager to cooperate with BRICS. 25 colleagues have confirmed their participation. Therefore, such platforms are always convenient for work, considering the opportunity to discuss a wide range of issues of interest to the participants of these events. I believe it will be both useful and interesting. We look forward to seeing you in Kazan.
Thank
Thank you, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Azerbaijan is indeed among the 25 countries Sergei Viktorovich mentioned that have confirmed their participation. I happily accept your invitation and look forward to our next meeting. Thank you.
A meeting of the Council of Heads of State of the Commonwealth of Independent States was held in Moscow. President Ilham attended the meeting. The heads of state and government posed for a group photo. First, a limited format meeting of the CIS Heads of State Council took place. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave the floor to President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev.
Уважаемый Владимир Владимирович, уважаемые коллеги.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to congratulate you, Vladimir Vladimirovich, on your belated birthday once again and wish you good health, the best of luck, and continued success and achievements to the friendly people of Russia. The recent state visit of the President of the Russian Federation to Azerbaijan once again confirmed the allied nature of Russian-Azerbaijani relations. I'm confident that the implementation of the agreements reached will serve the progressive development of our relations in the future. I would like to take this opportunity to wish Emomali Sharifovich Rahmon every success in the presidency of the Republic of Tajikistan in the CIS next year, and to congratulate him on his belated birthday once again. According to the decision of the Humanitarian Cooperation Council of the CIS, the city of Lachin in the East Zangezur region of Azerbaijan has been declared the cultural capital of the CIS for 2025. Lachin is one of the cities of Azerbaijan that was under the Armenian occupation for almost 30 years and was almost completely destroyed. Today, the town of Lachin has already been restored. A new life has started there and former IDPs have returned. The declaration of Lachin as the cultural capital of the CIS was received with great gratitude both by the natives of Lachin and the entire Azerbaijani nation. Next year, the third CIS Games will be held in Azerbaijan, with the city of Ganja becoming the sports capital. Competitions will also take place in more than 10 cities across Azerbaijan. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Belarus on the successful hosting of the second CIS Games. The experience of our Belarusian friends and brothers will be very useful for us in our preparations for hosting this important sporting event. In a month's time, Baku will host the largest international event, the COP29 Climate Conference. We viewed the unanimous decision of about 200 countries to hold the conference in Baku as a sign of respect from the entire world community for Azerbaijan. Dear colleagues, today we will adopt an appeal of the CIS Heads of State on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. Azerbaijan has made a significant contribution to our common victory. With a total population of 3.4 million people in Azerbaijan, about 700,000 individuals went to the front line at that time. More than 350,000 died on the battlefield. A total of 130 natives of Azerbaijan received the title of Hero of the Soviet Union. During the war, Azerbaijan's oil workers supplied more than 80% of oil and oil products and 96% of oils for military equipment. All this was produced in Azerbaijan at that period. These were the percentages in the total production of these items in the USSR at the time. More than 130 types of weapons, ammunition and equipment were produced in Azerbaijan, including the famous Katyusha rockets and Yak-3 fighters. There were 41 military hospitals in Baku, where 440,000 wounded people were treated. In March 1942, soldiers of the Azerbaijani 416th Rifle Division, also known as the Taganrog Division, took the oath and began their combat journey in the North Caucasus, which they concluded in Berlin. On April 21, 1945, the 416th Azerbaijan Rifle Division was one of the first to break into the outskirts of Berlin. On May 2nd, fighters of the division, under the command of Colonel Rashid Majidov, hoisted the victory banner over the Brandenburg Gate. Our common victory day on May 9th is an important factor in further cooperation among CIS member states. Azerbaijan attaches great importance to this cooperation and will continue to contribute to the strengthening of our interaction. Thank you for your attention.
Дальнейшего сотрудничества государств-членов СНГ. Азербайджан придает этому сотрудничеству большое значение и будет и впредь вносить свой вклад в дело укрепления нашего взаимодействия. Благодарю за внимание.
The meeting of the CIS Heads of State Council then continued in an expanded format. Russian President Vladimir Putin highlighted the successful development of relations and the implementation of various mutually beneficial projects among CIS countries. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko addressed the meeting, reading a joint appeal to the CIS nations and the international community in honor of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the 1941-1945 war. Valentina Matvienko, Speaker of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, followed with remarks on interparliamentary relations within the CIS upcoming projects and planned activities. The session concluded with the signing of documents bringing the CIS Heads of State Council meeting to an end. President Ilham Aliyev was interviewed by Russia 1 TV channel in Moscow. Asked about American sanctions against Azerbaijan and the fact that Russia is currently under the pressure of thousands of sanctions, the head of state was asked if the policy of sanctions has any prospects at all.
Она не имеет вообще права на существование, тем более, когда эти санкции незаконны и налагаются.
In response, President Ilham Aliyev said that it has no right to exist at all, especially when these sanctions are illegal and imposed completely unjustifiably and selectively. Therefore, we categorically oppose all sanctions, and I believe that the international community should collectively express its position. We express this position in our national capacity regarding the sanctions imposed on us, and not only on us. Sanctions were imposed on us in 1992 based on the fabricated accusation that we were blocking Armenia at a time when our territories were under the Armenian occupation. These sanctions were lifted in 2001 when the United States needed to transit its goods by air, land and sea to Afghanistan through the territory of Azerbaijan. Every year, the President of the United States, regardless of party affiliation, waived these sanctions by his decision until the moment when the United States fled Afghanistan. After that, these sanctions were reimposed on us. When I accuse them of ingratitude, I believe that this is not the harshest term that can be used in this context, said President Ilham Aliyev. President Ilham Aliyev received senior advisor to the U.S. President for International Climate Policy, John Podesta.
John Podesta expresses gratitude to the head of state for the reception, highlighting the productive and meaningful discussions with Azerbaijani counterparts regarding COP29. He expressed satisfaction with the opportunity to exchange views on COP29 with the Azerbaijani president. Podesta praised Azerbaijani team's high level of professionalism in preparing for the event, despite COP29 presidency's limited preparation time. Podesta stressed the importance of reaching significant decisions at the upcoming summit, particularly on biennial transparency reports and a new collective quantified goal on climate finance. President Ilham Aliyev welcomed the strong cooperation between Podesta and the Azerbaijani side. He emphasized the significance of COP29 and expressed confidence that the event would yield positive results. The head of state noted that despite having less than a year to prepare, Azerbaijan is making significant efforts to ensure the conference is well organized and that consensus is achieved among participating nations. He underlined that the Azerbaijani COP29 presidency is working to build bridges among countries and expressed optimism that Azerbaijan's memberships in various international institutions and its close relationships with other nations would help foster consensus at COP29. The discussion underscored the good cooperation between the Azerbaijani and the US COP delegations. They highlighted the importance of the pre-COP event in Baku and upcoming discussions for shaping the agenda for COP29. John Podesta reaffirmed US support for the regional peace agenda. President Ilham Aliyev noted that Azerbaijan had initiated a peace agreement with Armenia following the 44-day patriotic war based on 5 fundamental principles and reiterated the country's commitment to the regional peace agenda. The meeting also dealt with bilateral issues between Azerbaijan and the United States.
President Ilham Aliyev also received Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed. Amina Mohammed conveyed greetings from the UN Secretary General to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev expresses gratitude for the greetings and asked Amina Mohammed to pass on his regards to Antonio Guterres. The head of state said he would be pleased to welcome the UN Secretary General to Azerbaijan during COP. The Deputy Secretary General praised the leadership of the Azerbaijani president in organizing COP29 in the country. She commended the collaboration between the relevant UN structures and Azerbaijan in advancing the COP agenda and hailed the strong cooperation in relations with the Azerbaijani delegation. Amina Mohammed highly appreciated Azerbaijan's accession to and support for the Pact for the Future. She stated that there is a direct connection between climate change and the Sustainable Development Goals, highlighting Azerbaijan's achievements in implementing these goals. The UN Deputy Secretary General mentioned that the main topic of the COP, chaired by Azerbaijan, would be financial issues, expressing hope that new goals would be set and defined by the international community concerning the new collective quantified goal on climate finance. The head of state lauded the cooperation with the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and other UN agencies in the preparation process for COP. President Ilham highlighted the active role of the Azerbaijani state in the international arena for many years and its role as a bridge among global actors, expressing hope in the successful conduct of COP29. The head of state emphasized that Azerbaijan actively cooperates with the non-aligned movement, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the European Union, signing several strategic partnership agreements with various European countries. He stated that all these factors provide a solid basis for the successful holding of COP29 in Azerbaijan. President Ilham Aliyev mentioned Azerbaijan's efforts to achieve consensus at COP29. Touching upon the Troika format, the head of state said that Azerbaijan is actively working with the United Arab Emirates, which hosted COP28, and Brazil, which will host COP30. The meeting included discussions regarding the organization of COP29 and the country's presidency of this significant event. The party stressed the significance of the pre-COP event in Baku, emphasizing the importance of the discussions in shaping the agenda for COP29. Then the head of our state received Kerry McCarthy, Minister for Climate in the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Touching on the significance of COP29, President Ilham Aliyev highlighted the high-level preparations underway in Azerbaijan despite having less than a year to host the event. The head of state noted that Azerbaijan plays an active role in building bridges between countries and global actors in the international arena, emphasizing that the country has effectively cooperated with international organizations for many years and successfully chaired the non-aligned movement. All of these factors also provide a solid basis for the organization of COP29. During the meeting, both sides expressed satisfaction with the cooperation between Azerbaijan's and the United Kingdom's COP teams, noting that climate change remains a priority on the British government's agenda. Discussions focus on the prospects for cooperation between the two countries in the field of renewable energy, as well as Azerbaijan's priorities and initiatives on the COP agenda. The head of state highlighted Azerbaijan's actions related to renewable energy. The conversation also revolved around Azerbaijan's growing renewable energy potential, the four-party project involving Azerbaijan, Georgia, Romania and Hungary to build an undersea cable across the Black Sea, and a renewable energy project connecting Central Asia with Azerbaijan. The significance of the pre-COP event held in Baku was underscored, particularly in its role in shaping the COP29 agenda. That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.